I would like to welcome you all to the definitive Dark Souls 2 boss tier list, including DLC. Scholar of the First Sin Edition. We're going to rank them all. We're going to rank them all based off how cool they are, how memorable they are. We're not just doing difficulty or anything like that. We just got through the game. Kudos to me. Drip a sponsored tier list. I didn't think we would ever do Dark Souls 2, and here we are. All right? So we're just going to dive right into this, okay? Mr. Dragon Rider. Pull him up. Now, this was actually, I think this is my first one. What's up, Surplus? I think this is my first one. I think this was the first boss I fought in the game. This is the guy. Now, I'm not going to remember, like, man. That's the thing about Dark Souls 2, is I feel like some of the areas and I don't remember the names. I really don't. So like this is that guy in that watery place with all the Colosseums. And he's not very good. He's pretty basic. He's pretty basic. He's got a few big heavy attacks. You circle around him. I hear you can get him to fall in the water off the ledge pretty easy. We didn't do that and he was still easy. You know? I'm thinking Dragon Rider goes... I don't think it's going to be quite F. But I don't think it's going to be quite C either. I'm really wondering what we got here. I think we're going to have a lot of Fs. I'm worried about it. I'm worried if we're going to have a lot up here. So I'm going to put Dragon Rider starting us off a solid D. Firm D. He's giving you the firm D right there, okay? Next. The Belfry Gargoyles. This is the one where they do the Dark Souls thing, but then they give you what? Is it 6? 5 or 6? 6 gargoyles? I think that's what it is. Now, this one's a hard one because you automatically like could lose some points because you're just copying Dark Souls 1. But you could also maybe gain some points because you kind of like built off Dark Souls 1 and stepped it up a bit, but I don't think it's as cool as the Dark Souls 1 fight. It doesn't have the same impact. It's pretty easy. I don't even think it's a C. You're thinking a C. I'm not thinking so. I'm thinking it's a D. I'm thinking it's another D. I'm going to put it above Dragon Rider, but I'm putting it at a D. Yeah, the music's good. You think it's a C all you want? It's going high D for now. We'll see how this unfolds. The Duke's Dear Freya. I hated this boss. Another hard problem we're going to have with Dark Souls 2 is I don't have my mind wrapped around the lore even as much as I do the other games. So like even if like some of these are going to have cool lore and you guys are going to be like, "Oh, you didn't get it." I think this boss is terrible. I think this boss is terrible. This is one of the giant ones too, right? And I didn't just hate it because I died a lot. I hated it because it's literally this big empty arena. The run back sucks too, but it's a big empty arena. And it just literally, unless you're up close to it, it just sits there and shoots laser beams one after another, and you have to wait for the laser beam to stop and then hit it in the face. And you can't hit it anywhere but the face, which is also where the laser beam comes out. It's just stupid. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. I gotta tell you, I think it's going to a D. Because it's not better than the spider fight in Demon Souls. What's that one again? I don't think I'm going F, no. Oh god, dude, it's close. It's close to F. I didn't like it. You guys, I'm thinking I could be persuaded to the F the more I think about it, because I think we're gonna go down to F. Because think about the spider fight in Demon Souls. I forgot what it was called. It's not a cool spider fight. It's an empty arena. It's spawn. I'm putting it at F for now. You know, maybe if there's some lore I'm forgetting or not realizing that would bump it up to D, but like for now, I hated it. I hated this fight. It was, yeah, armored spider. That was a cooler spider fight. This is dumb. Yeah, this is dumb. So I think Surplus is right, but if you got a D mixed with an F, you round down to an F. The Pursuer is up next. Now this is that guy. This is that guy you fight a bunch throughout the game. You first can find him when we went up on top of that wall at the castle. And he flew in on the giant bird thing. That was awesome. So he already gets some points for the introduction, by the way. That was a memorable moment for me. He looks pretty sick. Now let's talk about his weaknesses, though. He does kind of have the same moveset over and over and over, even as you fight him multiple times throughout the game. So they didn't really elaborate. I don't know if he's going to go to a B. You know what? If he only flew in on the bird and that was his one fight, maybe I would go to a B. But the fact that you see him like 5, 6, 7 times, maybe it's kind of cool. You know, he's the pursuer. He follows you. But they didn't like elaborate as it went on. A bit repetitive. That's what I'm saying, Serena. A bit repetitive. Does he get more moves? I guess I just didn't notice. Now, Pursuer is going to go... Pursuer, how many times you fight him? Like 4 times? 3 or 4 times? 12 times? That can't be. Oh my god. I think it's a bit much. I'm thinking KW might be right on this one. I'm thinking a high C+. I think we're going to find other ones to put in B. Pursuer might be able to go B. Like, the first time you encounter him, it's a B. As the game went on, I was kind of like, okay, here he is again, you know? Right, I get it. And it's almost a clever way. Like, if you've got a reskinned boss, just call him, like, the Pursuer. He keeps coming back. I don't know. We can always move it around. You guys know how it goes. Okay, now let's go. Executioner's Chariot. This is going to be a divisive one, you guys. I thought this boss was dope. I'm not kidding. I think this boss was dope. I've heard people talk bad, talk ill about this boss. Another Dutch Vanderlinde, huh? Got a lot of those. This is the one with the gates. Look at how well Higgins knows the game now. This is the one with the gates. The chariot's pretty cool. So, like, you first... There are lame... there is some lame stuff. Like, you have to kill those 2, like, witches in order to get down there. But, like, they're not really, like, coolly hit. They're just, like, put in between the columns, like, left and on the right. They're not, like... They're not creatively implemented into it. You know? See you later, bread. Maybe too easy. I think it was cool. I think it's not only cool that you can get a different cutscene if you kill him without dropping the gate, and I think it's also really cool that you can drop the gate, and then he smashes through it, and then the fight continues. I think that's dope. I think it's even cooler. I don't know. Pursuer flies in on a bird. I'm happy to have these both in C right now. I don't think it's quite B, because once you're fighting like the horses, it's just... It's nothing new. It's nothing new. Alright, what do we got next? The Flexible Sentry. This is another one that, like, I thought it was kind of cool. But then you see it a bunch more. But, like, I'm just talking about the first time you find it then when you fight your way down the pirate level. Right? I don't know, man. There's some cool stuff about it. Okay, so first of all, you walk in on the pirate ship and you go down below deck. And you see this thing. It looks cool. If we're talking about the design, it looks weird. The fight itself is a little uninspired. But there is a cool thing about how the water in the level keeps rising and then it makes it hard for you to move quick. And I think that's kind of a cool... Like, these other bosses didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of cool. But I do think it's a little easy. I do think you see him a lot more after this. You guys, I kind of want to put him low C. You're all on D? He's cooler than the gargoyle fight. He's cooler than... Okay, he's high D then. Yeah, he's high D. Because we're going to get a lot more D. Oh, yeah. Better get ready. He's highest D. Because he's cooler than these. But you're right, it's easy. You see him a lot. You fight him as a normal enemy later, pretty much a whole bunch. You got him as a boss again, I think. Maybe, no, maybe you don't. Maybe it's just normal enemy. I just don't love it. Yeah, high D. Okay. The Ruined Sentinels. I don't even know Dark Souls 2 well enough to know, like, within the community, what are the most beloved ones. You know? That's okay, Isaac. That's a solid approach. I don't think they're as cool as I've heard other people say. I mean, even the boss fight itself is kind of weird. Like, you walk in and you're up high on that ledge. And then you, like, can fight one up there, but then jump. It's all about, you know, taking them on one by one. And not letting them overwhelm you. I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. It's... and there another one you fight. You fight a lot more as, like, a normal enemy later. I don't know, man. It's either lowest C or, again, high D. It's probably cooler than this guy, I guess. I'm thinking low C. I just want to caveat, if this was a list, we might eventually need to do one. If this was a list that was like every Souls boss, this would be going lower down. The fact that this is only Dark Souls 2, we're just looking at it within the world of Dark Souls 2. You know? I think it's a low C. It's pretty mid. Alright? And here's one I forgot all about. I forgot all about this woman. Scorpioness Najka? Another one that had like a little smidgen of potential, but then just wound up being another queen spider lady. What's her name? You know? It's cool that you can stand on the cement and she can't like come up from underground if you're on it. That's cool. I think that's cool. You know, that's a cool little gimmick, but it's not enough, and it's not, like, necessary. I was gonna kill her without even knowing it until we figured that out. So, it's kind of like the queen from Dark Souls, but a scorpion. You can summon another scorpion to fight her. I didn't know that, though. So, I mean... I might be going fight-wise, because I didn't do that. I didn't know that. You know, I'm definitely not going B. No way. I think she's down here. I think she's like... Man, she might be D, you guys. She might be like... I like her more than the Flexible Sentry, maybe? I don't even know. It's a toss-up. She's going high D. No, it's not going B. Quelaag. Yeah, thank you. She's just Quelaag, but a scorpion. It's not that memorable. I forgot all about her until we just did this list. And I just played this game. That's a D. I'm going to give her the D. Okay, now last giant. This is another one that I thought was kind of cool, even though it was easy. Because this is like the same kind of giant troll design shape that you even get in Elden Ring. And it's like they did it here, though. And he's got like stuff like sticking out of him and growing off of him. And he pulls his own arm off. I'm giving her the D, Top Reg. Yeah, Isaac, you can just rate them all based on the visual. No? What's up, buddy? So, I think it's cool that he ripped... Like, you know what is a takeaway from Dark Souls 2? Even though it's not my favorite... There is so many ideas that were introduced in Dark Souls 2 and then they did again later in later games. Whether it's like all of the games. Like there's stuff from Dark Souls 2 that shows up in all the later games, especially Elden Ring. This guy feels Elden Ringy, you know? And he even pulls his arm off like the fire giant pulls his leg off. I like this guy. I think he looks cool. I think he's an easy fight, but I remember him. I remembered him more than the Scorpion Lady. You know? So, like, let me look. I think it's above Scorpion. I don't think I can quite go B, though. He's not that memorable, but I put him above Scorpion. Ooh, man. Yeah, he's either going to wind up a high D or a low C. What's up, Curtis, my boy? How are you? Dr. Respect, how are you? You guys, by the way, look what I found. Remember I told you I had a link? Every time someone does a gifted sub and everyone's like, why can't I accept it? This is what it is. Look, all you have to do is put that link in, but then replace the your handle here with your channel name or whatever. Boom. It takes you right to it. Figured it out. Just an FYI. So anyway, he's going high D. Now, Guardian Dragon. Which one's this? Let me look. Is this the one that's in the... No. This isn't the one that's in the cage. The cage, is it? Yeah, because you got to put your handle into it, bro. Is this the one that's in the cage? Or the one that you find near the Dragon Rider first area boss? Because no, that wasn't a boss. That was just an enemy. This is the one in the cage. I don't like this. This was bad. It died too easy. It's a small arena, and at first it's kind of cool. It's like you're going into a bird's nest, and it might be kind of interesting. You know, kind of a cool backdrop. What's up, Dave? Good to see you, Dave. It's got kind of a cool backdrop and area, but he dies in like 3 hits. There's no health. He sucks. He's low. Ooh, man, he might go F. I mean, who remembers this dragon? I bet the people here that don't play this game don't even remember this dragon. I gotta go. I gotta go F. Just if you compare it to all the other kind of dragons that FromSoft does, dude, he's gotta go F. He's not cute, dude. We're gonna get to better dragons down here in a second. Good to see you, Dave. Good to see you, Dave. Okay. We're gonna keep this chugging along here. Skeleton Lords. Dude, again, like, okay, this is like those guys that are summoning all the other little skeletons, and I think, what is there, 3 of them? It's like 3 necromancers. FromSoft has done so many of these where it's like the 3 guys. It's not a good fight. It's easy. Even with the summoned skeletons, it's not a good fight. It's too easy. It's silly. I think we tried it once. This is one of those bosses we didn't even have to try again, I think. You just one and done. I'm gonna hit it with the... Man, I'm gonna hit Skeleton Lords. Dude, I guess D? I'm bordering up on F. I think that's... they're like low D. They're like low D, because I can't even put them... I don't even think I'd put them... Maybe above Dragon Rider? I don't... It's just like... Maybe I should? I don't know. It's not the best. Each time you kill one, they summon a group of their own skellies. Yeah, it's D. It's in there somewhere. It's in D. The Lost Sinner. Here we go. Now, I forgot all about this till now, and now I remember it. I think this is kind of cool. This is a little bit cooler. This is a little bit cooler. The boss was easy, but for this game, it was an interesting looking boss, an interesting arena. Remember, you could light the fires to light the arena up, meaning if you didn't do that, you walked in and it was dark and you had to fight her. I think she's pretty cool, honestly. Out of this game, she's pretty cool. You know? Yeah, I think she goes easily B. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, maybe A. Yeah, the thing about lighting the arena really does make it a lot cooler. You know? It's either... I kind of want to go B. I want to save A and S for a minute. We're going to go B for now. If this shakes out differently and we end up going A, that's fine. I could see that. I wouldn't lose sleep over that. But we're going to go A for now. It's a cool one. She's cool. She's quick. She's like got the iron mask on. It's cool. Okay. Isaac's satisfied with a B. Dave says cool. Cool with a B. They're +1 at high C, but I don't know. Brad wanted A. Okay. Now, now this is one, like, okay, once again, like, so this is another one in the list of, like, I forgot about this boss. So, Mytha the Baneful Queen. This is the, like, Medusa boss. I killed really quick. In 5 hits. And we weren't even over leveled. Like, this was like a juicy, just meat steak of a boss. I think she's cool enough, but like, is it really that creative? I mean, it's like another Medusa thing. It died in 5 hits of the Great Sword. God rest her soul, you know, R.I.P. But like, it's really not that cool. I didn't like it at all. Is it, maybe even if there was a cool gimmick to it, I killed her so fast I didn't even know about the gimmick. I gotta go D. I gotta go D somewhere around the Scorpion. I might even move Flexible Sentry above and put Scorpion down right next to this, yeah, to the Baneful Queen. Dude, yeah. Yeah, there's nothing really innovative about her. It was just kind of forgettable. You know? Okay. Now, who's this again? We'll save that for the end, right? That's like the end of the game. We'll save that. Okay, here we go. Demon of Song. I love this. I really like everything about this boss other than the fight. I really do. You gotta work your way down the Amana Shrine, whatever it's called, and there's like the singing that you hear in the background the whole time, and then some of the NPCs are even talking about the singing, and it's kind of this cool mood. It's weird, and you think you're gonna find some like humanoid person singing, and you walk in and it's this like toad thing, and it lets you look at it for a second, and then it like pulls its skin over its face. Dude, I think it's awesome looking. Yeah, in terms of design, it's S. Straight up, dude. But it's very easy, Butter. Yeah, that's the problem. So, like, visually, it's S. Gameplay-wise, it's like D, maybe F. So what do you got to do? Meet in the middle? Because remember, I weigh heavy on, like, how memorable. Like, if I'm thinking about this game a year or two from now and I haven't played it, which ones have left an impact on me? I will remember this one. I will. So, yeah, I see. It goes to C. It goes above Ruined Sentinels. I kind of even want to put it above the Executioner's Chariot and maybe right below the Pursuer. Because I'm not going to forget the Pursuer, obviously, you know? So we split the difference. All right, we go C. Okay. The Old Iron King. Now this is the guy. What is the castle? It's like the lava place. Oh my god, it's honestly kind of terrible. And you make your way through, and then you go down the steps, and there's the whole lava pool. I killed him in 5 hits. He's even one of the 4 bosses, isn't he? Like one of the main 4? Iron Keep, right. I don't even think it's an S for design. It's just like a demon in the lava. How many times have we seen, like, this demon in this lava? I'm sure he's got some cool lore. I hated this boss. It was dumb. It reminded me of that centipede in Dark Souls in the lava. That was dumb, too. I don't like the bosses where I have to stay on the platform and it walks up from the lava. It was so... I don't know, man. I don't think maybe quite F, but D. He's more memorable than Dragon. More memorable than these. He's probably like high D? Bread's ready to commit to the F. I think I go high D. I don't think I can put them on the same tier as these. Even Ruined Sentinels might need to get dropped down. Oh god, we're spiraling. Okay, hold on. We're gonna keep moving. It was Balrog. That's pretty much why it's not a B. It's like we've already seen this thing, you know? Okay. Who's next? What's this one? This is, Is this the DLC one? In the catacombs? What is it? Shulva? The DLC area. It's like the kind of like Mayan ruins, the subterranean, right? Yo, picture an Elden Ring game that was Lord of the Rings. Like we just did Elden Ring. Picture that style, but Lord of the Rings. That'd be cool. Shulva. I don't think she was that cool. I think the build up to her was kind of cool. Dark Souls 2 has a lot of these like tall women with the big gown. A lot of those kind of designs. I think I died a few times. I don't know. Was that not that memorable though? She's one of the 4 queens. Maybe that's why I remember 4 of them then. Okay. Okay. Well, let's look. It's better than Old Iron King. I kind of want to go Losi. I do remember the fight. I do remember the area the most. I remember that area quite well. It's definitely above Iron King, which means it has to either be high D or it's got to be low C. So I'm going to put it low C for now. How's that? How does that float your boats? All right. What do we got next? Smelter Demon. This is the guy that checks your ADP real quick. This is the one where we were like, okay, we got to level up our adaptability. Because he hits you with that side swipe, and even if he gets your toe in the middle of a roll, it's like, ah, he got you. I'm not going S. I'm not going S, but it's cool. And I like this design. Look at its head. It's cool looking. And midway through the fight, he goes into phase 2. He like seppukus himself and then goes crazy. I think that's cool. Yeah, he's got some silly hitboxes, but he also, you know, you got to check your adaptability. But I think he's better and more memorable than a lot of these. I think he goes above. I mean, we might go B on this one. Believe it or not. I think he's cooler than Pursuer, maybe. Yeah, I'm going to go B. I think I'm going to go B. I remember this guy. Run back kind of sucks. Or maybe I was coming from the wrong bonfire. But maybe that was that time. I don't know. It's cool. I'm going to go B. Probably below Lost Sinner, though. Alright? Everybody's favorite boss coming in clutch right when we need him most. The Royal Rat Authority. That's right. What do you guys think of this, huh? Whoa! I think it's pretty bad. No, this is the one in that other temple with the elephant people, and you go up, and it's got the little. It's like 3 or 4 little poisonous dog things that you got to kill, and then you can focus on him alone. A for authority. S for. You think it's that bad? I don't know if it's F. We're gonna. I already know some Fs that are coming up. Actually, we're kind of running out. Maybe not, right? It's kind of dumb, but it's cool when you walk in and he's laying up on the thing. Well, I mean, it's probably F. It's an annoying fight. Listen, it's not fun. How about that? It's not a fun fight. It's not a fun fight. And above all, if it's not fun, then you get an F for not fun. I even put him below Duke. He's F. Yeah, he's not fun. He's not fun. The Giant Lord. Okay. For some reason I remember this. This is the guy that is in the memory when you're in the Battle of the Giants. And he's at the end of it. And then he's a big nothing burger and nothing happens. It's totally uninspired. It's totally uninspired. This is not a... How do you even say a double A? No. It's easy. He dies right away. He looks kind of cool. But like, you know, that's about it. Not very memorable, which is ironic because you fight him in a memory. But I, you know, for one, will not be remembering him. So you will not be able to fight him.
In my memory. Not mine.
Okay? So I think he goes Dude, he's either down here with Dragon Rider at the low D, or he's even F. I'm gonna go, I guess, like this. He's kind of cool. Kind of cool backdrop with the war. We're gonna go low D. Top Reggie. Top Reggie confirms the low D. Royal Rat Vanguard. The Rat King, ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh with the mohawk. I think this boss is dumb. What's up, Phantasma? How's it going? I'm gonna give this one a V for Vanguard. Thank you. This boss sucks. It's another one of those Souls bosses where it's like, look, it's a whole group of them, but which one do you hit? And then you're looking around and you see his stupid hair. The one cool thing about it, if anything, is in typical rodent-like fashion, you kill him and then all the minions run and scurry away. G for garbage. Yeah, honestly though, I mean, we fought it late game too, which made it just absolutely laughable. I think it goes F. I think it's down here with the royal. All the royals go down here. Down there. All the royal rats go F. I'm going F with it. I don't like it. I'm not going to remember it other than like thinking that it's funny. Like, oh yeah, remember that rat with the mohawk? That was great. Yeah, okay. Moving on to, oh, this one's going to pop off the chat, I bet, right? Looking Glass Knight. The Looking Glass Knight. I'm surprised you didn't say S, Real Experience. KW is popping up with an F? No, see, I kind of thought this one would be divisive. Let people have their take. Come on, we don't need... It's all good. It's all good. So, here's the problem with this one. I think the area leading up to him is cool. Grand Lake Castle, right? That was one of my favorite areas in the game. I think visually he looks awesome. This is like S tier for me in this game. S tier arena as well. You've got all the lightning popping off, the rain and the Colosseum thing. It's so cool. He looks cool. He's got a big old great shield that's a mirror. It's cool, right? So before we even get to the gimmick, all of that is cool, okay? But then you get to the gimmick where he puts his shield down and the other like NPCs break their way out and they fight. Now, on one hand, that's such a cool idea. On the other hand, we already have seen this idea. They do it in like most of their games in one way or another, right? On the other hand, I didn't even get to see the gimmick because he died so fast. He literally died before he could even summon one of them. I'm not even trying to brag. I just think he died too easy. Like, look at him. Give this guy a little bit more health or armor or something. Like, look at him. No, I get you're right. Thank you for correcting me. Not NPCs, but like real players. But how does that work then? Like, what does it do if there's nobody there to play right now that's online? What's up, Doug? I didn't even see you come in, buddy. How's it going? So, like, what if he tries to break someone out of his shield and no one's online in like 5 years? What happens then? Then it probably turns into an NPC, I would think. But whatever. I mean, listen, I think he's cool. I think he could have been beefed up quite a bit, especially for the look of him and the build up for him. He could have been a little bit tankier, But so I think let's see. I remember him more than I think he goes A. I think he's close to an S. I do love everything else about it. Yeah, I think it's NPCs of other players. So I didn't want to like call you out right away until we, elaborated more in the chat, but I don't think I was wrong. I think it's like Elden Ring with, what's her name? Her tier 3 subs. Was it Freya or whatever? But like, it's like an NPC of someone's real player that's probably in that covenant. Right. That's what I think it is. So we can confirm or deny, but I think he goes A. He's great. He's the best in anything here right now by far. But how does that work though? You gotta go Google that, because that means at any given time somebody needs to be playing that's willing to be in that covenant or something. I don't know. Old Dragon Slayer. Essentially Ornstein, right? Did I get it right? It's not Smaug. Ornstein's the skinny one, right? I don't think this guy was that cool. I forgot all about him until right now. I mean, we did fight him a lot earlier on. I feel like some of us kind of built him up even leading up to him, but like it's kind of like Ornstein, but he uses Dark Lightning. Yeah, I think it was a copy of a boss that's just less cool than the original boss. I don't think it was good. I don't think it was good. I don't like it at all. I think he's got to go D. I think he's like somewhere around here with like the Old Iron King and the last giant maybe. I don't think I can put him I don't think I can put him C. Why did I put this queen up here? Yeah, I know he's in the right area. He's in between here and the queen. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, Ornstein and Smaug is the peak of Dark Souls 1. What's up, Kilo, buddy? You got fights on the brain, dude? Gearing up for your fight club? I just broke the first rule and second rule of your fight club. So, yep. This guy, you know, he goes D. Somewhere near the top of D. Edging up on C, but not quite. Not quite. Can't give it to him. Sorry, buddy. Moving on. Gank Squad. Oh, the Gank Squad. Listen, I kind of like it. Now, Dark Souls does the multiple enemy fights more than Dark Souls 1. I meant to say Dark Souls 2. It does it more than one. I am the peak of Souls, yes. So, a lot of these fights in this game focus on like, you know, being agile with multiple enemies and paying attention to different things. And I like that because it's challenging in a different way, and they leaned into it a lot in this game. At first you hate it, but then you kind of grow to appreciate it. This fight, you know, I think they overdo Havel a bit too much in this game. I mean, I feel like I've seen this guy like 5-6 times in this game, whether it's him or a spirit dark form or something. It's a little too much Havel, okay? But whatever. The Gank Squad fight itself, I kind of enjoyed. While it wasn't really a spectacle, I think fighting it is kind of fun. Because it gives you... That's not Havel? Why does it look like Havel? But either way, it gives you an arena to, you know, navigate around and kind of get behind them and separate them. I think it's a fun fight. I do think it's a fun fight, even though it's not that much of a spectacle. And I guess it's not Havel, but it's this whole set. Well, okay, I just meant like the Havel dude, like this armor. Yeah, I did not know it wasn't particularly that one guy, but I just meant this armor look. You see this guy a bunch, you know? But it's a fun fight. It's a fun fight. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe C or B? I'm thinking probably C. I can't put it above Demon Song. I'm not going to remember it. I'm going to go down, down, maybe right above the Queen. I don't know why. I still don't know why I have that Queen there. I guess he's okay. All right, they're good there. Kind of mid to low C. Yeah, it's a fun fight, right? Okay, what's next? Oh my God, the S tier, the one and only. Oh my God,
The covetous demon.
sliding into your DMs, looking like Jabba the Hutt, wondering why you won't call him back. You left him on red. The world wants to know why. It's a terrible boss. Matty Rick, what's up? Now listen though, hear me out. Because I had when I fought this, I was so let down. But then someone in the chat, I can't remember who was saying it, was like, oh, he's supposed to be like that. He's like a gluttonous mass. Is that what they were going for? Like, if they were going, like, but my point is, was this supposed to be an ironic, stupid boss? Kind of like the Sage in the Misty area of Sekiro, where you think it's going to be a boss, but then he dies in 4 hits? Is it that kind of thing? Or is it intended to be a boss with moves, and it just sucks? You know what I mean? What's up, Vire? Because if it was supposed to be like a, ah, we gotcha, then okay, I get it, I guess. But like, I guess the fact that I'm even needing to debate it means they didn't stick the landing, even if they were going for that. Yeah, and there's 2. I remember seeing the other one too. It sucks. It's just, listen, I think I just convinced myself. Even if they were going for the funny take that I did, or the trick you take, I don't think it was executed properly. I think it sucked. I walked in, I hit it about 4 times with the sword. It didn't even move, and then it just died. It was stupid. I feel like it's even worse than these. I think it's the worst one in the game. It's terrible. You could maybe make the argument like I was supposed to be, like it tricked you. It's dumb. It's dumb. All right. Now we get to Sin, the slumbering dragon. This is a good boss. This is a cool boss. This is a cool boss because not only is it the DLC that I also like the visual of, and there's some build up for him or her probably, where you enter the DLC, you're coming around the corner, and it's like perched up on the thing, and then it flies away, and then when you're down lower and you're crossing the bridge, it flies over and flames the guys on the bridge, and then you end up fighting it in that arena. It all yells at the sky for a minute, and it's got that terrible, terrible toxic rot effect that like breaks your durability of all your crap, but it's awful, and it's poisonous, and it hurts you. I think it's awesome. I think it's a cool fight. I think it's one of the better fights in the game. It's definitely the best dragon fight in the game. You know? So let's see. I think it's more memorable to be. I don't know if I can get the S. I mean, what else we got, though? I don't know, man. I don't know if we can get the S. Maybe. I'm thinking in this game, it might be the S. In this game, it might be an S fight. Yeah, shout out to Whitney, of course. But like, if this was like the grand scheme of things with other games, it's not, with other Souls games, it's not getting an S. But in this game, I think it probably gets the S. Yeah. It's got the whole build up. It's got the whole vibe of the arena. It's cool. I like it. It's got the big old spear going through it. It's dope. We'll give it an S. Yeah. Got cool lore. For sure. We're going S. Okay, speaking of S. Now, S for Sir plus. No, Sir alone. Alone. This is one of my favorites in the game. I do think that one move is so dumb. He's got one bad move. I like this boss for reasons that I feel like you guys haven't even known that I've been thinking about. This is such a cool boss because this whole memory and area and everything is like FromSoft's like first, check it out if we did some like samurai stuff. And some of the moves here, his quickness is like the first precursor to Sekiro. You know what I mean? I think he's dope. I think it's a cool fight. I think it's awesome that we did the no-hit secret death animation for him. I think it's cool that it exists. Like if you beat him without getting hit, he seppukus himself. That's awesome. Yeah, this is him, Doug, and we did it. And it's no longer 75%. It's you can't get damaged at all. And we did it. You be okay with a B? I don't think so, man. I think in this game, he might be S. I'm not going to forget him. I'm thinking of my experience in this game. He is easily more memorable to me Looking Glass might need to come up. If Looking Glass didn't die right away, Looking Glass goes S with him. We might end up moving Looking Glass up just because of how memorable it is. If he didn't die as fast as he did, he'd be up there with him. Because look at that solid trio up there. That feels like S. I'm not putting him in B. I think he goes S. I think Sir Alone goes S. I think it's cool. I think it's dope. It's different than other stuff. It's another human with a sword. But like, it's a samurai style. It's cool. Blue Smelter Demon. I don't know, man. It's okay. Dude, it's a reskin. It's the same boss, but blue. Yeah, he looks... Yeah, Sir Alone gets the S for the way he looks alone. Yeah. I don't know. This one here, I don't know. It's like another one of those things where it's like you already had a cool one. At least he looks a little bit different. The horns are a little bit different. Like, it's not just a reskin, but it's kind of like the same kind of boss. Blue one looks cooler. I think I probably agree. I don't know. Where did we put the other one? A? Let me see. I like that they have two different horns. What if we look at them like a two sides of the same coin? What if we put them both in B, and they're both two sides of the same coin? You got the red one, the blue one. They look different. It's cool. I think they both go B, side by side. I think that feels fair. Because if I'm thinking about... It's not like I'm going to remember the blue one more than the other one. It's just kind of like, they both... I remember them the same. I'm sure the blue one was a bit harder, but I don't know. I don't think he gets an A. Both runbacks suck. True. It's a good point. Good point. Sir Alone had one of the worst runbacks, but, it made up for it. Yeah, yin and yang. We'll give them the both B. They'll get the B spot, okay? The Rotten, I feel like, is one I thought I would have remembered more, but I really don't. This is in that poison crap area, right? I'll say his design is cool. It's creepy, and it's all these people, and it's cool. Like, the fight sucked. The fight sucked. The fight was easy. You just circled around him and hit him. And he dies really quick. And everybody keeps telling me, like, oh, well, this boss was too easy because you did this first, or this first. We were just kind of playing the game. Like, if it's that easy to render some of these bosses just, like, futile, then you've done it wrong, okay? You've done it wrong. Like, they need to be harder, man. I think you could have just made a lot of these harder. They just put too many bosses in and didn't, like, give them enough attention. A lot of these bosses here on this list, they needed just more attention, more moves. You could take about 30% of these bosses out and then focus all your attention on the remaining ones. Give them some more moves, give them some more health and difficulty and polish. I think the game would be better off for it. See you later, KW. Yeah, I think his design is cool, but that's about it for me. I think he's cooler than the old Iron King, probably, maybe. No, I mean, he's somewhere around here, dude. You guys gonna flip out if I put him in D? Because I feel like he kind of belongs in D. I mean, but let's put it this way. Like, no, I'm not new to Souls games. And yeah, the chat can only help me so much. It's not like the chat can take control of my damn hands. But like, compared to something like Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3 or Elden Ring, it's like, there's not as many bosses where it's like, oh, if you did this area and this area first, you're just gonna immediately plow through like Slave Nightgale. Like, that's not gonna happen. They were harder, and I think they learned from Dark Souls 2. Because you've got so many bosses here, but a lot of them are just dead in the blink of an eye. Double D. Rotten goes down here by these guys. His design is cooler, but it's just so easy, man. Twin Dragon Riders. Now, once again, this is another one of those bosses where it's like, yo, No, Sekiro has no bad bosses. It's the perfect game. We'll get to that game soon. Don't worry. Twin Dragon Riders. Now this is another example where it's like, yo, you remember the Dragon Rider? Here's two of them, but one of them's got a bow. It was stupid. Reused assets. They tried to be creative. It's like they, in a lot of these bosses, they like tried to be a little creative, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. I don't think I can give them a C. They also died really easy, especially being a two-person fight. I don't like this fight. I don't think it's memorable. I won't remember it very much. I think maybe it's D. I don't think I can put them. I keep eyeballing the Gank Squad too. Like, there's nothing memorable about it other than the fight being kind of engaging. That's about it. You know, I'm gonna put Twin Dragon Riders down here, mid D. Mid D. What World Destroyer? What are you talking about? Okay, so now we got Dark Lurker. Dark Lurker. The boss that I was challenged to fight yesterday to see if I could kill it on the first try. And I failed, but I did kill it on the second try. I went back and watched that video. We almost killed it on the first try. Gank Squad might come down to D. We'll see how I feel. We got about a quarter away from killing this on the first try. And then the second try was easy. Easy. There's some cool stuff about this boss. It's cool with the... It's kind of cool with the build-up. How you gotta talk to the old man in the 3 different places. I saw a number of tier lists that didn't even have this boss in the list. I think it's because people just don't even realize you gotta find it. Unless you hear about it. But you gotta talk to the old man in the wheelchair 3 times, and then give him the humanity, then go into his dark portals, and then light the things, and then fall through the pit at the fog wall at the end. Don't feather out or bone out, or else you gotta do it all again, boys and girls. I hated that. Kind of cool though, different. You know what he looks like? He looks like, what is it from Diablo? Ezekiel or not Ezekiel. What is it? The Archangel guy. That's what it looks like. The Diablo guy. But Izuel, one of those, some name like that. I don't know. It's okay. It's better than some of these. Let me think. I don't think I can. I don't think it can go B. It's easy, and then it splits into 2, but it really doesn't even make it that much harder. I'm thinking like a C. Like, maybe the... I kind of like... I'm almost the opposite of Doug. Like, I kind of like the build-up to the boss more than the fight itself. Like, it felt like you were going through all these stages to get this super hard secret boss, but then it wasn't that hard. I think it's gonna go... I think it goes above the Chariot. Everyone's going to be thinking I'm tripping with Demon of Song here, but I love it. I'm going to go mid C, mid to high C. Mid to high C. Doug, you okay with that? Is that fair? Okay. Mid to high C on Dark Lurker. Could have been harder you had to jump through so many hoops to do it. Like, make it, I don't know, like it just wasn't that hard. We killed it easy on the second try. Now, who do we got here? Velstalt. The Royal Aegis? I don't know how to pronounce half of this. He's cool. I think out of the big-ass humanoid knight fights in the game, this guy's pretty cool. And he's in that room with the pillars, and he can knock the pillars down, and that's cool, too. He's not very hard. I think we fought him maybe twice. I think, maybe 3. But he's cool looking. His big old bell thing is cool. And again, I like that it can affect the environment. That is one thing. We should do a whole little talk one of these days, a video about like what Dark Souls 2 did well that people don't talk about. And one of those things is the environmental stuff. There's a little bit more environmental play here in this game, where people can break things and some of the secret walls are breakable, and like there's a little bit more play with environmental stuff, and I like it. I got a fetish for environmental play. All right? I think he's pretty cool. Let's see where he goes. Let's see where he goes. He's cooler than the Pursuer. I think he's cooler than these Smelter Demons. I think he might be up here. He's up here. He's high B, maybe low A. I don't think he's going to quite get the A. I don't think he's going to quite get the A. He's close. If Looking Glass got bumped up to S, which I still think it might, then maybe this guy comes to A. Maybe. But for now, I think we keep him at highest B. He's kind of tied with the Lost Sinner. All right? All right? His helmet and armor are the best defense in the game. I didn't know that. Cool. Okay. Now we're getting into some of the weird ones, right? We got Ava. The King's Pet. I thought it was, you know, kind of dumb. Okay. I think it was kind of dumb. I don't know. I didn't like... This is probably my least favorite DLC. Didn't like it. It's another one of those tigers that we've like already fought. The lion, kinda. And it jumps around. It's got a big hitbox on the sweep. It's got a big delay on the sweep that annoys me. Not necessarily a hard boss, but it's like, it's whatever. It's whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just whatever. It's not anything. It's like it's in the D's for sure, man. Even below some of these. Oh yeah, below that, below, probably down here somewhere. I'm gonna keep going down. I mean, it's like down here. Giant Lord maybe can come up. No, he'll stay there, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to put him at the end of D. I'm putting him at the end of D. Yeah, this is the first one you fight. That's only one of them. I will say it's kind of cool when you walk in and he's laying up on the ledge. Like, that's cool. But they did the same thing with the Rat Authority, which I thought kind of even looked cooler in the temple. So I give him a D. I'm giving a lot of D. All right, now let's keep going. Fume Knight. Probably the most iconic in the game, right? For a lot of people. From what I've heard, this is the hardest in the game for a lot of people. Serena's going Delta tier. But I think that was for the other one, not this one. This is, before I played Dark Souls 2, this was the only boss I had even heard of. So, it's got to have an impact on the community to a degree, right? It was okay. This is another one that I got challenged to beat on the first try. Failed. But I don't think we needed that many, right? Maybe 5, 6, 7, something like that. It's a better fight than a lot of these. And it's a fight that I'm not going to forget. And it's cool that you can push the stakes and those things around the arena to make him not get healed. Like, that's cool. Let's see where he's going to go. He's cooler than Lost Sinner. He might be S. Oh, man. He's either the highest A or S. It's either the highest A or S. I'm going to leave it at highest A now, but he's liable to get bumped up. So don't blame me if he gets bumped up. But right now, he's top A. Because at least he's a challenge. He's more of a challenge than Looking Glass Knight. You know? Okay, what do we got? Lud and Zalin. The King's Pets. Now, here's like the reskin of Ava, but it's the two different tiger things. And you fight them at the same time. And it's got to be one of the worst runbacks in the game. Because you're running through the consecrated snowfields. Is that what it's even called? There's that Elden Ring. but it's a terrible run back. The fight is dumb. It's literally just the same fight. And they don't even have the balls to like put you up against both at the same time. So they wait until one of them's halfway dead or more, and then the other one comes down to try to be more fair. But they're so easy. They're so easy, man. I think it's a reskin. And any kind of reskin you have in a DLC, ooh, it stings so much worse. It's so much worse. Okay? You're reskinning something and it's in a DLC and you already used the other one in the same DLC. I think it's down there. Maybe F. Yeah, no, it's F because it's the same as this but worse. It's the same as this one but worse. It's a F. I put Freya above it. I put Guardian Dragon above it. I put Royal. That's more memorable in a good way. It's down here with the demon. Yeah, I don't like it. Didn't like it. Not good. Not for me. Don't like it. No, sir. No how. King. Vendrick is next. It's the king. A couple weird things about the king. Number one, you get to him, and he's just walking around. He's not even hostile. He's after the catacombs, right? Or whatever. And he's really tanky unless you have more giant souls in your possession, which is weird, which I feel like I wouldn't have even known if the chat didn't tell me. Yeah, could have been a D if they gave. You're right about the bonfire, Doug, for sure, by the way. The fight itself, when you come back to King V, is not that cool. The arena's kind of boring. Even though it's supposed to be, but like it's just kind of an empty dark circle. He does the same couple moves over and over. You just try not to get hit because he does a bunch of damage. You hit him enough times, he falls over. I don't even remember a phase 2 if there was. And it's the king. It probably should have been a little bit more memorable. I know he's like the old dilapidated king. It's supposed to be like that. The music is cool. Yeah, you're right. Eerie vibe, yeah, that's kind of why the room is like that, yeah. Let's see, let's just walk through it. It's better than the old Iron King. I kind of will remember it more than that queen. I'll remember it more than Gang Squad. I'm gonna go here. He honestly could go anywhere here. Anywhere between Executioner's Chariot, Ruined Sentinels, he's in there, he's mid-C. He's mid-C. He's mid-C. Like, at least there's some cool stuff to him, and there's some lore tied to him, obviously, being the king and stuff. He's going mid-C. Could be worse, could be better. He's mid-C. I'm going to push this to the end. I'm going to push this to the end. Let's go Ancient Dragon. This is a hit and miss. Not a swing and a miss, but a hit and a miss. It's a spectacle coming to the sky. It's also cool that you don't have to fight this guy. It's also cool that he's not even hostile until you fight this guy. I love the entire walk up to this dragon with the dragon knights like standing there and stuff. Like, it's awesome. It's cool talking to him. I even liked the weird metallic sounding feel of his voice. You know, like what would a dragon sound like? And it would be like alien like that or something. That was cool. The fight itself is absolute poo-poo caca. Terrible fight. Terrible fight. He does one move over and over and over and over again. He just flies up in the air and sprays fire and you have to run and then you run back. It's terrible. This is probably the one fight in the game that is like, you know, A, almost even S for memorable visuals, but then you go completely F for mechanics. Yeah, between A and D, I weigh memorability and iconicness even above some of the other stuff for me. I just do. So with that said, I think I got to put him up here. He's kind of like Demon of Song, Dark Lurker, Ancient Dragon, Pursuer, where it's like they're all pretty memorable to me, but I wish their mechanics were cooler. How about that? So he's kind of high to mid-C. He's memorable like these other ones, but I wish the mechanics were cooler, you know? So it kind of lands him right in the middle. If you brought up Dark Souls 2 to me in 2 years, he's one that I would remember, even though he sucks. So I'm not going F. No, I'm going to go mid-C. The Burnt Ivory King. Now, this is the final boss of that the DLC, the snowy one, right? There's some cool stuff going on here. Now, we first got to this boss, and we only had one of those little knights to help us. So he only froze one of the gates. And then I realized, okay, this is hard. You know, because you got to fight all the other things. So then we went back out into the snowy land, and we found the other knights, and we came back. And I do think that's cool. I think it's epic. I think there's a lot that's epic about this fight, especially compared to some of the other fights in the game. It's cool that you run up on this homie with 3 knights with you, and you're fighting this whole... It's like a huge battle in this arena, and then the knights one by one go and freeze the gates, and it looks really cool. And then this bad motherfucker comes right out of that huge gate in the middle. It's dope, dude. It's like an Oblivion gate. It's cool, man. And he's a pretty decent fight. Like, he's quick. He's not that hard, but he's harder than pretty much a lot of these other ones. I found him even a little bit harder than, like... I mean, he's harder than, like, a lot of these. I think he's cool, man. I think he's memorable, and I liked the build-up, and I kind of liked getting the knights to come help me, and I thought that was cool. I like how the lady melts all the ice, and then you go back and get the knights. I'm going to go A. I'm going to go A. I go A, dude. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want this to be laid out almost more like this, you know. Put Looking Glass top A, Burnt Ivory followed by Fume. Yeah, A is a good choice. Okay, sweet. What's next? We're getting down to the final. Now we're in the final 3. These are the final 3 in the game that you fight all in a row as the final boss. And you fight them exactly like this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he does look like Lord of Cinder, by the way. And it's just a cool look. If it's not related, it looks like they took inspiration from it for sure. So first in the list, we've got Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was awesome. I think I'm going to throw a curveball with you guys on this one. I think this was a cool idea for a fight. And this is another fight that they just took the idea from and did it in Elden Ring. Like, this is literally the Godskin duo, but just not fat and skinny. It's the same thing. You've got to kill one before the other one heals the other one and comes back. It's the same thing. They took it. They took the same idea. I mean, there's plenty of things that Dark Souls 2 paved the way with. They're awesome. They weren't hard enough. You are right. By this point in the game, we were way powerful. They could have been a little bit harder, but I think the devs were thinking like, well, you got to fight 3 bosses in a row, you know, but none of them were hard enough. That's the problem. So I think they do go A. I think they go A for sure, but maybe a lower A. I put Looking Glass in S because it's iconic. Looking Glass bumps up to S, and now it makes more sense that these are all in A. So Throne Watcher and Throne Defender take the bottom A spot. It's a cool mechanic. They thought of it here first. It went on to influence later games. It's cool. Kind of a good fight. Yeah, I think it's cool. I was super powerful at the time, but whatever. I liked it. Nashandra, the Queen of Drangleic. I don't know, man. I don't think it's that cool, man. It's probably got all kinds of cool lore attached to it. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it's got all kinds of cool stuff I don't know about. But in terms of like the middle final boss, I did not, I'm just going to be honest now, I did not like the final boss. I didn't like that it was just 1, 2, 3. It felt like one too many. It was just like a, like almost like a random boss gauntlet, just all in the same room. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought the throne defenders were cool. Maybe do just throne defenders and then go to Scholar of the Last Sin or go to Nashandra and that's the end or whatever. 1, 2, 3 just felt like, okay, what's next? I don't know. It was almost like too much. Too much. Didn't work out for me. Didn't sit right. Nashandra's lower and not a cool fight. It just, again, felt like Nito. Felt like the other queen. What's the other queen? All the queens felt a little too samey to me. Too samey. Yeah, I just didn't like it. I think it goes much lower than the Throne Watchers and Defender. I think it's like, dude, it's down here in a D. I'm gonna go D. I don't care. Like, even if it's just a final boss, doesn't make it cooler inherently. It has to be cooler on its own, and it really wasn't. I think it's down here with the Ds. I don't think it was great. And then you get to Aldia, the Scholar of the First Sin. I think this was a huge letdown because at first I thought it was going to do the classic Souls thing where you get to the final boss and it's just like a little lump and it doesn't even put up a fight and you just kill it. It's almost like a cinematic boss more than anything, but it didn't do that. Instead, it actually tried to be a fight, and I think it suffered for it because it was a terrible fight, way too easy. It's just the giant blob. It's stupid, dude. I think they would have been better off doing it the other way. What do you guys think of that? What if you finally got to Aldia and instead of like having all these attacks, it's just kind of like defenseless and it's talking to you, and I don't know. That would have been better for me. That would have been better for me. But to cap off the entire game with that, it was so lame. It wasn't cool. Because it's the final boss, it's got to go F. It's got to go F. Yeah, it's got to go. It's in here somewhere. Somewhere here. Yeah. So that's F. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is the definitive Dark Souls 2 boss tier list. Ranked. Just based on overall coolness and everything, you know, based on everything. So we've got, I think I like the way it's spread now. You think that's a dub list? All right, good. We got Sin, Suralone, Looking Glass at the top. I do really wish, okay, Looking Glass has a caveat that I really wish it was harder. I wish he had about double the health. And then he's S. And then A, I feel confident with this one too. These are good fights. But then you get down, now, you see the spread? It's a lot of C and a lot of D. And a lot of F. I think they needed to either trim the fat off of this game a bit or really focus more on these. Like, less is more. Less is more. You know what I'm saying? The S rank's the top, dude, right here. Here, I'll shrink it down. You can see it all at once. There. How's that? That's better. Should have done that earlier. I think it looks good, you guys. I think I'm proud of this list. I think it's feeling like a good list. I think I'm going to print it out. I'm going to hang it on my refrigerator tonight. I encourage you all to do the same. And we will keep Dark Souls 2 close to our heart as we move forward into Dark Souls 3. All right, so I'm going to catch you later, guys. And by later, I mean in 3 seconds. Sherpa.